There hasn't been a 3D platformer that I enjoyed this much since Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, yeah, since Odyssey, I have played stuff like Pseudo Regalia, Corn Kid 64, Astro's Playroom, Rift Apart, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Tinykin, Crash Bandicoot 4. These are great games, some are even incredible, but none of them have me swooning over them like Odyssey until April 2024. I came across this game on Twitter. Yes, I'm still calling it Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. I was hot off the noise update from Pizza Tower, and I saw this move right here. It reminded me of the mid-air charge for Peppino, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll get this game. And like that, all of my neurons were at full throttle when I played Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. The game starts off with a man named Maurizio creating our protagonist, the yellow taxi that does indeed go vroom. He made it in order to stop alien Mosk and Tulsa from corrupting all of the oil. Since it is spring powered, the oil doesn't affect it, so off we go to do whatever it is that we're doing. The first thing that you'll notice is that you have tank controls in a 3D platformer. Now, tank controls are not a popular control scheme in games nowadays, and they aren't for everyone. During the infancy of the 3D platformer genre, tank controls were the go-to control scheme for a bit until games like Quack and Super Mario 64 released. They changed how we move the player in 3D platformers. You're no longer moving like a tank, but like a living thing. It makes more sense for this kind of snappy movement to be the way we move our characters now. Not that tank controls didn't suit a good amount of games, a lot of them are well designed around that. But we don't only move like cars. Since you play as a car in Yellow Taxi, the use of tank controls in the 3D platformer is a much better suit here given our knowledge of maneuvering our vehicles. Though you do use analog control in some spots. But why do Yellow Taxi's tank controls work while Bubsy 3Ds don't? Well, it's mainly that you can turn faster, so there's that. The thing with this game is that there is such a strong gameplay loop here. You have a simple moveset of acceleration, braking, and your most important move of all, the flip-a-will. Once you press the button, whether it be square, X, space, or Y, you have 4 options out of the wind-up animation. Complete the wind-up and you get a burst of speed. Accelerate right as the dash is about to begin for a double boost, press the button again to interrupt to do a mini jump. This is used for small jumps, kind of like going upstairs. Do this in midair to stop your momentum so that you can reorient yourself, hit reverse while spinning to do a backflip or a side flip depending on the direction you're holding before you hit reverse, just not forward. This is a higher, snappier jump than the usual interrupt. Thinking about it more, after 3 completionist playthroughs, this would really trivializes a lot of platforming. I mean, you first play the game, unless you're not fiddling with which buttons do what. You don't learn this move until you meet an NPC near the last level. I never used it until I was incentivized to do this in the post-game, and then started using it onwards for my second, third, and future playthroughs. It's a matter of, okay, now that you have completed a game and you want to play it again, you have learned everything we have to offer, how will you approach these levels with these new moves that you have learned? You can still do advanced tech before you reach NPCs that teach you these mechanics. It's like games like Celeste and Ultra Kill in that kind of manner, where the tech is just hidden to you, and once you learn it, you can start a new game and just obliterate levels. On repeat playthroughs, some ways to get gears via sequence breaking are not so interesting. Like, look at that, I just did 2 double backflips. Since there is no literal jump button, dashing up the slope is what gets you to also jump. This is your main way of traversal. Dashing up slopes depending on the angle will net you different results. With such levels designed around angles and topography, you're always thinking of ways to traverse instead of just in certain spots. You'll see a slope and you can go, oh, can I make it? And then boom! Oh my god, that worked! The flip-a-will and angular level design come together to make you think of crazy skips that you could do. In nearly every moment of the game on both of my completionist playthroughs, I was always thinking of ways just to do so many sequence breaks, so many skips that it felt so gratifying to play, each and every time. Because of its open-ended structure, one of my favorite things about the game is how you could go from the first level to skip a majority of levels to get to one of the hardest levels in the game. Now, it may seem easy to want to do skips, so if I love skipping chunks of the level's design so much, why should I be involved with some of the obstacles? Oh shit, I forgot this was a collectathon. So yeah, you're collecting gears and bunnies a la Mario Odyssey and Banjo-Kazooie. You collect gears in order to progress through levels, and golden bunnies to unlock post-game levels. Once you collect a gear, you are still in the level, so you aren't kicked out a la Mario 64. You are searching nook and cranny for gears, so you are still engaging with the levels. You still have to learn the game's mechanics, so if you are only skipping, you are not going to get that 100%. Some gears and bunnies can only be collected with tech that you haven't learned yet. In level 1, I had no idea how to get this bunny. With a normal flip, I wasn't able to make it. But that was when I learned the double boost to get it. When I first played this game, I was kind of ticked off that I couldn't fully complete levels in one go. Without the orange switch you have to hit to make blocks like in Mario World, with basic tech, you can't get everything. Second time I played it, I did not need the orange switch at all. I was out there saying, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. In some levels, you're given a timer, and to gain back time, you're collecting clocks, money, gears, and most importantly, driving people to their destination. Yeah, so basically Crazy Taxi, but a collectathon. Driving people gives this incentive to make it as fast as possible to gain more time, right? Okay, but I can just get as many clocks as I can, right? Therefore, I'll have enough time to get every gear possible. No! If you want to go for completion, some passengers are required as they give you gears. If you're not sure who, just look at the green glow around their feet.
Ooh, I'm gonna be all up in those feet. Oh, I'm gonna just be sucking on each one of those tootsies.
Smash this Crazy Taxi-like structure with this moveset and level design, and like that, everything about this game clicks. This Crazy Taxi-like loop and the collectibles are what push the players into mastery. Oh, and there's also this destruction bonus. Destroy 50 items in the world like you're a Katamari rolling up objects and you gain money to buy hats. And since money bags drop in time-limited levels, they give you more time and it just feeds into this loop. I'm telling you, this game is so good, why haven't you played it yet? Oh, and you can also commit vehicular manslaughter. It really makes you feel like your GameStar on December 24th. Now, I've been talking about the function this whole time, but what about the form? Despite how function-focused games are, you can't have one without the other. You need presentation, you know? Vibrant, zany, bouncy, fast-paced. That is Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. Visually, this is an N64 game on crack.
What the fuck?
You have this low-poly art style, yet you're seeing every single saturated color on the rainbow. You have these clear-as-day textures that you won't really get out of an N64 game. And everyone is just vibrant and bouncy, you know? It's overwhelming and whelming, if you get what I mean. The soundtrack is so energetic that it gets you motivated, it gets your brain turning to cook up just some movement. It's also a very funny game. I'll admit that not every joke will be for everyone. There is some crew level here and there, like there is a level that revolves around dogs and feces while the music farts. But there's more kinds of humor to it than that. I love the NPCs out of disclaimers that this is, indeed, a work of fiction. Oh, the gym level might be my favorite level in terms of how funny it is. Once you enter, this guy tells you that no one trains with their legs. Another complains that they can't train their legs because the gym bros are lifting the treadmills. Some muscleheads are lifting the bikes while someone is riding them. Go further down, an NPC tells you they can't walk, so they improvise by making cars out of barbells. And another NPC is pissed off because she can't walk because of the damn barbell drivers. Right now, unless something sweeps me off my feet, has me absolutely smitten this year, Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom is my game of the year. I love this game so much that I completed it 3 times. It took me 10 hours to complete on the first playthrough, at least 4 hours on the second, and another 3 hours on the third. If you're seeing where I'm coming from, this game is so replayable. It has quickly become one of my new favorite video games, let alone 3D platformers ever made. It is up there with the very best. It's also the kind of game that plays really well with one hand on the keyboard. You just need the WASD keys and the spacebar, play the game in one hand, drink a beer in another, literally the perfect game for drinking and driving. If you are watching this video, play the free, yes I said free, demo on Steam, and once you do, pay $17. It's $17! That's a steal! This game and the devs over at Panik Arcade deserve all of the praise that they're getting, given that this is their first game. I'm telling you, you need to play Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom.